Cal's event that's going on right now at McLean Stadium outside the Baylor Club, and we're here, and he's here. Paul, Craig, David Smoke, and again, Mack Rhoades joins us. You ever had a just calm day since you joined this university back a few years back?
Oh, I'm sure there's been a few.
Like, what's the latest in the day you've ever gotten a work call?
The latest?
Like the latest in the day. Like, if the day starts at 8 o'clock, what's the latest you've ever gotten a work call?
A work call?
The first one of the day.
I get calls at all times of day, and I have some of my best conversations with Scott Drew post 10 p.m. Matt Rhule and I had conversations. I remember conversations at 1 a.m. with Matt Rhule. Dave Aranda, I've had conversations with at 5:30 a.m. And so it's all hours of the day, and with the executive team, with Dr. Livingstone, and so that's just part of it. So you embrace it and you roll with it. So.
How important, do you have a baseball coach yet? There's no other.
There's no delivery.
If you get off this show early enough, you might.
Yeah. So, no, we don't. But, I think we're in a really, really good place with the search, and I mentioned it I think earlier in the week that great interest in the position, and obviously being a head coach at Baylor is not a fit for everyone, and so that certainly. Makes your pool, smaller quickly in terms of just mission fit and being a person of faith and really, really embracing Baylor and what it's about. And so, you go through that filtering process and I think again we've landed in a really, really good place, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get in front of some of the candidates and have face-to-face conversation and talk about a lot of different things, quite frankly, that are non-baseball. I think that's the really joy and beauty of doing searches, is just getting to know some really, really cool people. The people that you don't hire, I still have friendships and relationships with those people, and that's the cool part of the process.
Is it does it clear out a lot? I mean, obviously, we lost all but 16 teams in baseball now, so you've got more. Could you have more of a road to be able to talk to guys right now? Yeah,
there's more clarity of who you can talk to and when, and last Thursday, Friday, you weren't sure, and you needed for the weekend to play out, and in some instances, Monday to play out and see who you could talk to and when you could talk to them, and I think we've got a much clearer pathway in terms of who and when, and so we'll begin to go into that phase or step of this process. So,
are there still some you can't yet talk to because they're still alive?
I'm not going to answer that question.
I had a former coach tell me this about what Baylor, and he said this to me, and I wanted to ask you this, and this is while I was gone for a week. How important is making sure the mission statement is never overrun by the juice of winning?
Yeah, I think it's how important is it? It's everything. It really is everything. And again, I'm not here to deliver a sermon, but I think that God will honor that, and I really believe that. And if winning ever becomes more important than our faith, than our core values, it's going to crumble, and I'll just say it, and it did, and that can never ever happen again here at Baylor University. It just can't. And so, we're in the throes of having some incredible success, and that's why you better be really certain in terms of the people that are leading your programs and their value and their belief system, and that they'll stay grounded. It's making sure that we have leaders in the right areas that will always stay grounded, and it's something that as leader of the entire enterprise that I've got to be relentless about. You can't talk about it once every 3 months. You can't talk about it once a week. You have to talk about it every single day, and we do. And again, we're certainly not perfect, but it's that winning can never become more important than our core values, our faith system.
So when you get into interviewing a coach, X's and O's, obviously, you could probably have lateral moves no matter who it is, because there's a lot of people who know that. How quickly do you know that they're a fit personality-wise and mission statement that you can push that X and O thing to the back?
Yeah, it's a great question. And so, the stuff that we do on the phone prior to really, visiting with somebody in person, I really use that time to kind of filter. And then, when you're in person, I think it's less science and more art in terms of reading people, and how authentic is it. You can just feel it and see it. And so the in-person piece really validates what you thought or what you're thinking coming out of the phone interview process. I just think that if you're trying to do all of that in an in-person, it just doesn't allow for enough time and the right types of conversation that we should be having with conversations. And there's some great baseball coaches out there. They are. We'll talk to just a sampling of them because it's not for everyone, and we're not going to compromise that.
Coach Ford, one of your recent hires, they've got the championships coming up in Eugene, Oregon. That's the last of the school calendar, so to speak. Just your thoughts on them heading up to Eugene with a lot of representation, and just kind of the job that he's done so far.
Yeah, I'm proud of Coach Ford. I don't know how closely anybody watched that search process play out, but we beat up Coach Ford pretty good through that process, and I mean that in a really good way. He really had to earn it, and I think that's the case if you're an internal candidate, and we took him through the ringer, and I really appreciated how he handled all of it. Every time we engaged, he was positive. Every time we engaged, he was relentless. And he wasn't given that opportunity. He earned it, and I think what he's done in just year one has been tremendous. He'll be the first to tell you that, wow, I mean, it's been quite a year, and just learning and the difference from moving over and now being the singular voice, the leader, right, of the program, from being somebody that suggests things to now being the person that actually says, no, this is what we're doing. And he's going to continue to grow. He's going to continue to grow as a head coach. We've had a really good year. We talked about it here in an earlier session in Cal's, but connectivity with your student athletes, like he gets that. He's got that. And that's like football. That's our second largest squad size. And so a lot of student athletes, both female and male, obviously, and he's done a really, really good job of doing that. So I'm excited about the future. Again, what they're doing in Oregon, proud of them, and I think really, really great things for our track and field program in the future.
Collegiate Athletics Leadership Symposium. I know this is something that Kevin and others were a part of, and you, of course, put your blessing on it. Lauren Smith and Giovanna, so many. How important was it to host this? What is it like to have this on your campus right now?
Yeah, I think initially I was like, "Holy cow! Can we really take one more thing on?" And that was probably pretty selfish, but. I think Baylor Athletics, we have a role in terms of serving our industry. And so I'm grateful that Kevin and the rest of the executive team and all of our people really embraced this and made this happen. I had nothing to do with it. I was just told, hey, show up. I just had to give the blessing and to say, yes, we'll do it. And but it's all of our other staff members, and you mentioned some of them, and there certainly has been many that really have made this happen. And I don't know, when I get up there and I'm sitting listening to Giovanna on a panel, or I'm listening to Nikki and Scott on a panel, Henry Howard on a panel. I mean, I can't help it. It's a source of pride to say, wow, we've really got some special people, and it's a reminder of we're doing some really good things, and the ability to share that with others, I think is really, really, really important.
You mentioned the baseball search. I mentioned the baseball search, but there are players
it a couple times.
There are players in the transfer portal,
yes,
like right now, and there's some that have already made the decision.
Yeah.
Disappointed that they couldn't wait maybe another week, or just part of where we are?
I think it's part of where we are. I mean, I'd hate to say, hey, that I'm disappointed in that young man because he couldn't wait. Our student athletes today are faced with a lot of pressures. They have a lot of different voices speaking into them. Not just their parents, and so it's hard for them to navigate all of that. Absolutely. I wish they would have remained, and I get going into the portal to try to protect yourself, but I wish they would have given the new head coach, whoever that is, an opportunity to just sit down and share their vision of the program. That didn't happen. They did what they thought was best for them, and so we wish them well. Thank them for their time here. We wish them well, and we'll move on. And if we hire the right person, that stuff will all play out the way it's supposed to, and we'll be fine. Now, again, we can't take forever to make this decision, because I think just more uncertainty leads to people saying, hey, I can't hang in for any longer. But we'll navigate it. We'll be okay. And the new head coach, their first job will have to be to re-recruit those that remain on the roster, and then quickly after doing that, then go on and adding to the roster.
Yeah, that transfer portal goes both ways sometimes as well.
It does.
Someone asked me, is there a shade construction, something going up in the southern part of the stadium to block the sun? Is that?
Well, if there is, I'm not aware of it. So we got a lot going on.
The permit that the city issued for shade construction in the south end zone at McLean Stadium. Again, we get questions sometimes. I don't know.
So we are making some changes to the south end, but I'm unaware of a shade structure, but maybe that's an add-on that I just haven't been. I haven't
signed for it.
I haven't been notified of. But we are making. We had a wonderful donor gift, and so we're trying to commemorate that in a really special way in the south part of the stadium.
I haven't been, it's kind of crazy just all the traffic and everything going on, but I haven't been sitting here and looking around in a long time. When you look around at the Welcome Center and the groundbreaking and just everything, what do you kind of think of just about the future and the present?
I'm excited. It speaks to progress. It speaks to change. It speaks to getting better. And you talk about the Welcome Center. What a great addition for the university, and to have the late Mack Rhoades' name on it, along with his wife Paula. Both of them just two very, very, very special and dear people to the Baylor family. And the pavilion getting underway, and can't wait until January of 2024 to play the first game there. And I know Scott and Nikki are unbelievably excited about that, and that's going to be a great addition. And and because of that project, then that impacts volleyball and acrobatics and tumbling in a very, very positive way. And the football development center is a huge project for us as well, as we think about our future of football, and how do we continue to be nationally relevant, and again, moving football out of the Simpson Center. Wow, what a huge win for all 525 of our student athletes as we think about this new student athlete center for excellence, and how we expand that. And so we have to be in this constant motion of change, and that can be uncomfortable at times, and we're never going to change just to change. When we do change, it's with a vision, it's with a purpose, it's with a plan. But if you're not changing in this industry, and I think you could say it probably for any industry, you're getting caught, and we've got to continue to be out, leading in that space.
You got a lot on your plate, man. We appreciate you being a part of this today. Congratulations on this event. Good luck with the search.
No, thank you, and I appreciate you all being here at the event, and it is a great event, and great for Will, who actually started Cows, and he had a very intentional purpose of reaching out to young leaders in this industry, and Will's got a heart of gold, and certainly grateful for him and our staff to be able to pull this off.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Mack Rhoades, Baylor's Director of Athletics at the Cows event at McLean Stadium. Sic'Em 365 Radio, 365 Sports.